Okay.
Yeah, that plant that I have in my living room is like running fucking wild. And
You don't strike me as like a live plant
I
guy.
actually like hate plant
Raising plants.
daddies
Yeah.
and like people who like make their whole identity in their whole fucking apartment. Like that's my worst nightmare, is walking into someone's apartment that's like succulent, succulent, succulent plant. Like this is my zebra plant.
Mine, my
No,
apartment.
you literally have okay, that's you have like two, you have like three. That's a normal amount. Four. That's like normal.
I have one. Hold on, let me count. I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I have 9 plants.
Well, I see those ones don't like the small ones,
Don't
whatever.
count. They don't
And
count.
like but also the like you just have one nice big one over
Yeah.
there.
That's
But
half of a plant now.
yeah, I obviously kill everything that I touch.
Mhm.
So my apartment was looking a little bare, so I got a really cute plant in a little cute vase
Mhm.
bowl. What is that thing called? Pot. In
Pot.
a pot. And
Do you know what kind of plant it is?
no. And this motherfucker is like growing, like she's basically going to be like wrapped around my TV.
Okay, I'm dying to know what kind of plant this is
I have no
because
fucking idea. I can send you a picture and you can like reverse Google image search it.
I
God,
feel
say that
like
3 times
I
fast.
feel like with your luck, it's probably like a plant that's like super hard to take care of
No, a
and you just
thousand
are like
percent.
neglecting it and it's just thriving
I water it like once
a year.
every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
but it's probably just like the way the sun hits her. She's
Yeah.
living.
Do you get direct sunlight in your apartment?
Yes.
I wish I got direct sunlight. I don't get any direct
Yeah.
sun in here. Can I tell you something I saw today that like actually made me feel very uncertain about life?
The comments on my to go box
Yeah.
video or what?
Yeah. If you guys don't follow us on Instagram or any social medias, follow us Hot and Bothered the Pod. We had Chris actually received his first
I got
taste of public scrutiny.
annihilated for the first time regarding my to go box on a first date. And one, I would just like to clear the air and say fuck you to all the disgusting people that take fucking food to go on a first date. You have no manners and that's gross. Um and that's it.
I have something to say about that actually.
That you eat rotten food for 6 weeks straight.
Yeah, I will like I'm not scared of food at all, but no, 2 things actually. I hate when people comment on shit like that and they're like there are people that are starving and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so I have to be a fat bitch because there's people that are
One
starving.
person commented like it was a luxury for my family to go eat at
Oh my
McDonald's. I'm
god.
like, babe, it's a luxury for me to eat at McDonald's too. Like, what is the correlation between to go food and eating at McDonald's?
I do want to say someone else commented, and this is something I can respect to an extent. Someone was saying, like, no, like, don't waste food, but take it to go and give it to a homeless person on the street. I'm like, yes, that's a great point. And, like, that is something I would be willing to do. However, that person's intentions was not to take the food
No.
to go and give it to a
And
homeless
everyone
person.
like was like, "Oh, well, you didn't clarify that like or in the video in the clip like, oh, that you paid for it." And I was like, quite frankly, I don't really care that I paid for the food. I still think it's like déclassé.
No, exactly.
And I was like, well, I don't care that I fucking paid for it, but I
Yeah.
still think it's like weird. I mean, everyone knows like my phobias of like being seen in public holding food,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's just something that I have to deal with, and that's how my brain is wired, and I'm sorry.
But that was also another thing, like, given the context of listening to the full episode, like, you were saying, like, these 2 guys were, like, kind of treating you like you were their fucking sugar daddy.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
annoying that, like, you were the one that paid and then he also, like, took the food to go. So, like, that was, like, a whole piece of, like, that dynamic, which
Yes, I
contributes
forgot
to
about
that.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, that I was going on dates with bums and just no one pays for anything. And then, yeah, this guy took food to go. And I was like, okay, babe, that's like literally a 1 inch by 1 inch piece of pizza. But
no, exactly. And we stand by that.
yeah, and I'm at peace with that. And
So all of that aside, the social media scrutiny aside,
I survived.
Chris survived. I'm really glad that that was your first experience, just really easing you into
I was kind of triggered today.
the
Like I
hate.
literally got into my office and I sat down, and then you sent me something, and then like I was looking at that one because it had a lot of comments,
Yeah.
and I was like, these people going after my vocal fry. I'm the red flag. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
babe, as if. I'm not gonna say it.
Okay. But don't worry, girls. This is not going to be another episode of us crying and being depressed
Of us
because,
reviewing
yeah,
drama.
we're not doing that. Okay, so something I saw today that was really jarring to me that I was completely not expecting at all in the slightest.
Wait, let's do our intro.
Now you want to do the intro because I'm in the middle of a sentence. Let me get through this.
Okay.
I went to go take my trash out earlier and I opened my fucking front door and like on the street there's 2 cops on horses wearing cowboy hats.
That's kind of chic.
And I was like, where did this come from?
And what were they doing?
They're just walking down the street on their horses.
I love that.
Since when do we have cop police? Since when do we have horse police in in Los Angeles, in fucking Westwood on the UCLA campus? Like, since when is that a thing?
I have no idea, but
I've
I love
never-
that. We should bring that back.
I've never seen that
is
in
an
LA.
authoritative fucking figure. If anyone comes up to me on top of a horse and a hat, I'm like, babe, I will surrender. We should have that more.
I wanted to go over and be like, I want to pet your ponies. They were gorgeous, first
Yeah.
of all. Also, with all the chaos in this neighborhood, those have to be some very well-trained horses.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's so chic. We should bring that back.
We should totally bring that back. It was definitely more exciting than seeing just like a regular cop car driving by. And I was
Yeah.
like, also, they looked so hot in their cowboy
Yeah.
hats.
I feel like that's like a vibe.
I don't have like a hard dick for like police by any means, but they looked hot.
Absolutely.
Hi guys, welcome back to Hot and Bothered. I'm Cedar Champ.
I'm Chris Bruno, and I have vocal fry.
And he just forgot his name.
Yes.
On this podcast, we talk about everything that we find hot as fuck.
And everything that bothers the shit out of us.
Slay, we have no credentials.
Minimal life experience.
Don't take our advice on anything.
And go fuck yourselves.
Stunning. Exciting things are happening. Spring is in the air. It's about to be summer.
That
I
is
feel like-
true.
I feel like life is getting good for a lot of people right now.
Aside from you.
Aside from me.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for everybody else. My life is still a complete and utter shit show. But I don't know.
I've been losing track of time. I had no idea that it's almost June already.
It makes me want to shit my pants because my goal was to have a job by April and I still don't have a job.
I thought that was like to have one by January.
I mean, yeah.
If anyone's hiring, please reach out to us via the pod, and
So
Cedar will take
true.
anything. She's currently
Message us
taking
on Instagram.
applications for being a personal driver in Australia.
No, I'm about to be an escort, honestly. Like,
yeah.
I've been applying for jobs for 5 months. I've never had this hard of a time getting a job. Isn't that insane?
Yeah. I mean, it's just sad.
It's just weird. It's like
it's because of our
it's
president.
it's probably because of the podcast. Honestly, people are probably seeing like looking me up on
1000%.
social media and being like, "We're not hiring this
1000%.
fucking freak." Like, she's so inappropriate. She's very not politically correct.
No, this podcast is very unprofessional.
So unprofessional.
And talk about a red flag.
I'll never have a job again because of this podcast. But you know
Yeah,
what?
you're just like doing
I do it for you,
career
girls.
suicide. Career
Yeah.
suicide.
Oh well.
What are your summer plans? What are you doing this summer?
I have put a freeze on making any plans for my future until I have a job because I'm like, I can't really book travel or do anything like that right now because I don't have any income. So once I get a job, all bets are off. I will be doing anything and everything and literally showing off my labia in West Hollywood probably 5 nights a week. So anyway, what are your summer plans, doll?
I have a lot. I don't need to bore these people.
You don't want to get into it.
I don't want to get into it.
Okay.
We don't need to talk about it yet.
Are you hot? Are you bothered?
It's private.
Oh, he keeps secrets now.
I'm
Just
hot.
like your fucking Instagram. Are you gonna make that public or no?
Cedar's going. Okay, this is actually a debatable topic that we should talk about.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Raise your hand if you want your Instagram profile to be on motherfucking private. Raise your hand if you want your Instagram profile to be public. Okay, why do you want your Instagram to be public?
It's not about my Instagram. It's about your Instagram. And it's bad for the podcast because we post podcast stuff on the internet and people see it and they're interested in us and they're interested in our lives. If people were interested in our lives, they wouldn't listen to the fucking podcast, and they want to see into our lives. Not that
I
you
don't
even.
want creepy, weird people I don't know to be able to lurk on my profile. If you want to look at my profile, follow me.
What about your profile is so secretive that like
Nothing. I mean, but it's
exactly.
also like I don't that like to have like my life and the shit that I post like open completely and not me being able to like monitor who comes in and out of that page
That's why you
makes
use.
me weird.
That's
Makes
why
me weird. It makes me uncomfortable. It's weird.
you use your close friend story a lot, and that is what that is for. And it's weird to me that you're okay talking about your sex life publicly on the podcast, but you don't want somebody to see that you
Because
posted like.
then they're not gonna know what I look like. What?
What do you mean?
Like I don't know. I still feel like my Instagram is like kind of personal. I don't, bitch. I just told you.
Okay, so make a fucking Finsta then and use that as your
No,
personal.
I'm gonna do whatever I want. It's my page.
Okay, well
People,
anyway,
if they want to
so
follow me, they'll follow me.
I've had people like friends of mine and stuff that like listen to the podcast religiously, and they're like, I've requested to follow Chris and he like won't accept it. And I'm like, yeah, like that's how he is, but also it's like they're interested and they're engaged in our lives, and like when you like are excluding them from your life, it like makes people feel a type of way. They're going to be less inclined to
I'm
like
not.
engage.
But I'm like, my brain doesn't work that way. Just like I don't want to take a to-go box.
Okay, anyway, so basically we're polling the audience. Do we think it's good or bad for the podcast that Chris won't let people follow him? Everybody send us a
If
DM
you want to
and let
follow
us
me, go
know.
request to follow me.
And then he won't accept it.
I
And if
have
he
like
does,
a
it might
lot
be
of
6 months from
requests.
now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, Diva, whatever you want to do. I just don't mind me. I just bust my ass all day, every day for growing this podcast.
Well, my Instagram's private, so you can
Anywho.
contact my attorney if you have any further questions.
Okay.
I
I don't know why you're attacking me right now.
I don't know why you're attacking me.
Because I don't understand how you don't understand how this would like.
I literally, it's bigger than the podcast. I have a life too. Like I want my thing to be private.
Okay,
If
Diva.
someone wants to request me, they can go and request me.
Okay, you guys have officially heard our 67th fight that we've ever had.
Like, if you want to request to follow me, request to follow me. And when I get around to accepting it, what do you want me to do?
I just like don't know why it's like such a sensitive subject.
My Instagram has been private since the beginning of time.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, are you hot or you bothered?
I'm bothered.
Clearly.
I'm
Super
bothered because some people do not understand that you want to have a private Instagram.
Okay, why else are you bothered?
Like, Instagram's not that big of a deal.
Exactly. So why are you trying to like keep it like it's some
Be-
like weird little like
Because
sacred?
I just said if you want to follow me, you can go follow me and then you can see.
But you won't accept it.
I accepted a lot of people today, actually, after it was that thing.
Okay, Diva.
Am I hot or am I bothered this week?
You're hot.
I'm hot this week because I'm moving to Dubai to get away from Cedar because she's attacking me about Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But I am hot because I went to Dubai and I fell in love with a closeted prince, and that's gonna be my new life.
I'm obsessed with that.
And that's actually why my Instagram has to be private.
Right. And then because he's closeted, are you like his secret then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect.
So it's just you have to be under the radar. You have to
You're
give
like
them
his
something to think about.
Private, secret
Yeah,
little mistress.
Yeah. And this is my outlet to not be a private secret mistress.
So you get to be out and super fucking gay.
You can be
on
out.
this
Okay.
podcast.
Okay. This is what I wanted to. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Yeah. Continue.
And then you can be straight and not at all this man's boyfriend on your private Instagram.
Do you think I'm straight on my private Instagram? No, but I was so nervous going there because everyone was like, you can't be gay, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't drink. And bitch, everyone there is gay.
Mm-hmm.
Literally everyone is gay. Even the
Mm-hmm.
straight guys are gay. The amount of men that literally were carrying Birkin bags
Mm-hmm.
and wearing little like lady sandals. I was like,
Stunning.
these people are all fucking
The
bottoms.
way that I would be horny for all of them.
Okay, I was too. I was like, okay, baby, the muscles with the Kelly bag. I was like, go
Stunning.
off. Um, I lost my train of thought.
Everyone was like, you can't be gay, you can't drink.
Oh yeah. Everyone was like, you can't do this, you can't do that. But it was very like normal to me. But I just felt like it's like Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It's literally Las Vegas.
Well, is the whole, I was going to ask you this earlier, is like the whole city of Dubai, it's like kind of a strip, isn't it?
Okay, that's the thing that I was confused about because I kind of thought the same thing, but I felt like it was a very circular, like everything was circular.
Hmm.
And I was so thrown off by where I was every single time because I actually pride myself in my sense of direction and like where the fuck I'm going and like
Yeah.
I'm like autistic with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But everything was like round and I was getting so fucking confused on where I was. And but also like no, it's not a strip because I couldn't really see because the buildings are so tall. Like it's not like one strip. Like there's like this fucking mall that's like bigger than Los Angeles itself, which is a circle, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's like a different district over here, which again is like a circle. It was fucking weird, but that was never really a place that I envisioned going at this point in my life because I'm a very uncultured person. And I feel like Dubai is like where you go when you've traveled the world and you have nothing else to see. So you're gonna like go to the fucking Middle East. And so I feel like I skipped a lot of fucking steps going there. But again, that's just my opinion. And it was really cool. It
Yeah.
was like a hub of really interesting cultured people. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm this stupid fuck from California that
Mm-hmm.
literally speaks one language and has zero brain cells. Like everyone's just like chain smoking and talking in their accents. You
So
can smoke
good.
cigarettes in restaurants.
Oh, that's so good.
Like the first restaurant I went to, one of the guys that I was with just like lit up a cigarette at the bar and everyone's like, "Do you need an ashtray? Do you need an ashtray? Do you need a lighter?" Like so accommodating.
Do they have like the like ventilation systems like they do in Vegas so it doesn't smell like cigarettes inside?
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Oh my
so
God.
good.
That's another thing. Every building that you walked into, like they are pumping Baccarat through the fucking
Fuck, that's
AC.
so
Like
good.
every building you walked into, like had their own signature smell. And I was like, this is so
I
nice.
need all of this fragrance in
Like it
my
just like elevates like your what are those things called? Your senses.
senses.
Yeah. I was like, holy fuck, this is so much better because it just smells so fucking good in here.
Right.
But I feel like there's so much to do and everything is so big that like everything kind of looks empty
Yeah.
because everything is so fucking big. And
Right.
like I was like, okay, is this like a cool place? Because it seems kind of empty. But then I'm like, oh, there's seating for 10,000 people in here, so maybe that's like why
Right.
it is giving this vibe.
When
Um,
is like their like busy season?
During winter, well, for like the locals, because when I was there, one of my good friends lives there and has a good group of friends there, and everyone was like, oh, you have to come back like September, October, November, December
Mm.
because that's when like we're all here and like everybody's here because it's less hot.
Right.
And everyone's just like rich and travels.
The rest of the year.
Yeah, like it's
Mm-hmm.
fucking insane. I was like, I'm so fucking poor being here.
Yeah.
Um, but it was a really cool experience. I did not ride a camel, so I fucked up big time on that one.
That is like the last thing that I think I would want to do if I visited Dubai. That's like a
Yes.
second trip kind of thing.
Exactly. Like I feel like I did like all the big city things and some of the stuff that we did like was a little corny, but it's like you kind of have to do it.
Yeah, it's like visiting New York for the first time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't go into the fucking Burj Khalifa, but you can see that motherfucker from anywhere and everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it was cool. It's really good food.
What kind of food? All of it?
Like literally anything and
Everything?
everything. They had a fake Chinatown. Okay, this is how big this fucking mall is. There was it looked like I was in Chinatown, like in San Francisco, inside a mall, and then you like would walk outside of that, and then you would be in an aquarium, and then like you would walk over here, and then there's an fucking ice skating entire thing. It was the craziest place
That
I've
is
ever been to in
insane.
my life.
No, that's
Like a
insane.
full blown Chinatown market.
That's so crazy.
It was like I was like, what the fuck planet am I on?
I'm kind of obsessed with this.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like there was like the dangly red lights. It was so cute. Everything stays open until like 2 a.m. Like literally the stores in the mall close at midnight and the mall closes at 2 a.m.
That's stunning.
Yeah, like because everyone's like nocturnal there.
Yeah.
It was cool.
What time do like the like bars and restaurants and stuff close?
I don't know. I think like 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I was blacked out every day, obviously, so
Yeah.
I had absolutely no sense of time. But I would like to ride a camel at some point in my life.
I hear like every time I hear someone talking about Dubai on the internet and they like say like weird things about it, I always assume it's just like somebody that is like a super tourist and they like didn't really know how to do it. It's like I heard someone on the internet like on TikTok or something a few months ago talking about Dubai and they were like you can't drink in Dubai, like it's illegal, like da 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 da, like saying all this stuff about how like you like there's actually no alcohol consumption in Dubai. And I was like that's not real. Like there's no fucking way that that's real. And like I know multiple people that like
Yeah.
have traveled to Dubai and like spend time there and I'm like that's just not a real thing. And I feel like you can't really do Dubai unless you like are with somebody that knows Dubai.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely drink there. I think the only thing is um stores. It's like I think it's illegal, whatever. I think it's like illegal for stores and grocery stores to sell alcohol, but you can only get it at restaurants and at bars.
Mm-hmm. So
But
no one's hosting a pregame.
the thing is, people do have alcohol, but it is illegal to get it. I don't know if it's illegal to like
Possess.
possess it. Well, I'm sure it fucking is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely could have like pre-gamed, but I'm kind of glad that I didn't because
You
I
didn't have to pay
probably
for
would have been
anything anyway.
arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have been arrested at some point. But there was literally not one homeless. I didn't see. You can't be homeless there. I didn't see one police officer there. There's
Mm-hmm.
no trash cans on the streets. There's I mean, we would be getting home at 4 or 5 a.m. and they're bleaching the sidewalks. Like
This sounds like your dream.
my friend's apartment, they're polishing the marble floor like every single day at 4 a.m. Like it was insane. I was like, people just know not to do illegal shit there.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what the fuck they're giving these people, but we need a little bit of that here.
No, we absolutely need that
Yeah.
here. Like the best I can do is like they every like Monday and Tuesday night they like power spray the sidewalks in Westwood. Like
I mean, that's better than what I get in my neck of the woods.
yeah,
But
so true.
yeah, it was such a big sleigh. So 17-hour flight,
Yeah.
16-hour flight.
That's like really rough.
I literally, as we've talked about traveling many times on this podcast, I'm a horrible flyer just because I'm like very impatient.
Yeah.
And when I'm sitting there, I'm like, when is this gonna be over? When is this gonna be over? That was the worst experience of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I do flying there. It's like you're kind of excited, so it's not
Yeah.
as bad. But coming home, I was and even during the time that I was there, I did have like a little bit of underlying anxiety, just knowing that I had to get on this flight and be in this foreign airport alone with. I had 2 checked bags, which was kind of a sleigh
Mm-hmm.
because they let you, and yeah, the whole time I was there, like if I had a moment to myself, I would be like, "You have a flight at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
on Tuesday, and you're gonna be fucked." And I was
Like your intrusive thought that
"Yeah,
you're trying to shake out
yeah,"
of your
like
head.
could not fucking shake it. But that's what drugs are for. Oh yeah, you can't have drugs there. You can't have controlled substances. So like Adderall, Ambien,
So no one takes Adderall in Dubai.
no. No.
That's my worst nightmare. But
No.
I guess that's what Dubai
But you
Ozempic
can
is
walk
for,
up to
right?
the pharmacy and get Ozempic. Yeah.
I kind of love that.
Like it makes no sense to me. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Like what?
It's illegal to have ADHD in Dubai,
Yeah,
essentially.
it's illegal to have any mental problem, I think. I know you
How
can't be handicapped.
interesting.
Yeah, you can't be in a wheelchair. Nothing's handicap accessible, really.
Really?
Actually, I think it has to be because tourists can be in wheelchairs.
Yeah.
But
But like the people that like,
yeah, you can't if you live there. If you're a resident, you can't. I'm gonna like they're gonna come get me or
no, they're
something.
probably, you're never going to be allowed back.
No.
Yeah.
But I think this is like all public knowledge, public information.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a sleigh. If I go back, I'm gonna need to ride a camel.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
This sounds so fun.
It was really fun. It was really fun. I was anxious, but it was good.
Tell us about the prince you met.
He tried to recruit me for a threesome with his fake girlfriend, fake ex-girlfriend. I don't know what the fuck that dynamic was.
And when you asked for clarity, we're given none.
I was given none, really. Well,
Probably a
I
flat out
actually
lie.
got that answer when I asked for clarity. So that was pretty weird. Oh, you can't have Grinder there. That was interesting, but I wasn't really there to like be on Grinder, and I was like, bitch, if I meet a guy here, I'm not gonna meet him on Grinder. Like,
Is it that you can't have Grinder? Like it's not allowed there?
it doesn't work.
Okay.
You have to like get a separate VPN to have it work.
So like basically you'd be using like a Wi-Fi network or whatever like outside of Dubai
Yes,
to be able to access Grinder.
correct.
Mm. Okay, what about the other dating apps? Are you still on Raya? Was there anyone interesting on Raya when you were there?
Not in Dubai.
Not in Dubai. What about Hinge?
Actually, there was a cute guy that messaged me. He was like 45. But then he like made a weird comment and I got grossed out. And I was like, I was so busy doing things that like I was like, when am I gonna carve out time to go like deal with some fucking idiot that I'm never gonna see again? So I didn't
Right.
really give a fuck. I made a Hinge while I was there, drunk as fuck.
Which is incredible because literally like I think our last episode you were like, I deleted Hinge.
Yeah, I was like, Hinge, like I can't have this app. Like I'm so tired of wasting my time. And then I was there and I was like, okay, I need some form of attention. Like Raya takes too long. Hinge is like a little bit quicker. I can still like,
the
bother
instant
someone.
gratification.
Yes,
Babe.
I need a little something. So I did re-download Hinge and immediately regretted it. And
So there wasn't anybody good even on Hinge.
well, I didn't set my location to Dubai. I set it to here. But I do have to admit, before I left for Dubai and before I deleted my Hinge, I changed the location to Dubai to kind of like see what the scene was. It was not. I wouldn't wish it upon anyone.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, that's really sad.
But yeah, that was my little tripperelli and a quick snippet.
So you're moving to Dubai.
So yeah, I'll probably end up declaring residency there at some point with my new boyfriend that has a wife, girlfriend. I'm not sure what's going on there.
So good.
More to come. He texted me as I landed in LA. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Do we know anything? Like, do we know what he does for a living? Like,
Well,
do we
he
know
does
anything?
this like the same thing as me.
Oh, right.
So that's we met him at a restaurant the first night that we were there, and then me and him were just talking about work for like an hour, and then my friend got his number, but he was leaving for the Maldives the next morning. And so he was like in the Maldives while I was there, and then he came back on Sunday, and I left on Tuesday, and my friend was texting him, and they were like kind of talking a little bit, going back and forth, and then she gave him my number, and then he texted me, of course, when I fucking landed back home. So that's how life goes.
Missed connections, maybe in another lifetime.
We'll see what happens.
Slay.
So are you hot or are you bothered? I feel like that conversation was boring, but I don't really care.
I think it's fun.
That's not convincing.
I'm hot this week
Slay, we're both hot.
because I made some friends.
Thank God.
Oh my God, I know. I can like stop bothering you. No, okay, so I work in a restaurant, obviously, and so I've seen a little bit of this, but it's been coming up on like my TikTok lately, and so now like people are like discovering it, I guess, and it's like actually becoming a thing, which I'm excited about because I think it is a really interesting concept. but it's this thing called 222, and it started in LA, and I think they're working on expanding into New York. But basically what it is it's like it's not, they like say like on their website like this isn't for dating, this isn't for making friends, like this is just about like meeting people essentially,
Is that making
whether,
friends?
wouldn't you think? And so I'm like
Yeah.
kind of confused
But
by
they want to take
that.
the pressure off.
Right. Like
Yeah.
they're not like you have to be friends with
Yeah.
people, but this is like an opportunity to like just sit down and chit chat with somebody. So basically what you do is you like go online, you like fill out this like, actually I like made one of my friends do it, and it's like really long and really extensive questionnaire where they ask you like so many questions from anything like
Do you have to
house.
pay for this?
Yeah, we'll get there. So like they'll ask you questions like ranging from anything from like how outgoing are you to like how do you feel about this specific social issue, or like one of the questions was like how important is it for you to wear like designer clothing. Anyway, so
Why are you rolling your eyes?
because I'm like, yeah, okay, so anyway, so you fill out this questionnaire, and then basically they text you once a week. I don't know what day of the week it is. It's probably like Tuesday or Wednesday or something. And they're basically just like, are you interested in participating this week? And you either say like yes or no. And I think you pay like,
My anxiety right now.
this stresses you out.
This is
This
like
sounds like a
this
fucking
is
field day for me.
my worst
This
nightmare.
sounds like the best time I could ever
This is
have.
my absolute worst fucking
You literally
nightmare.
said that's what you were doing in Dubai, though. You're just like talking to random people.
Yeah, but like I don't want to put it on my calendar to go talk to random people.
You just want it to happen organically.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, there's like you pay like $20. I don't know if it's like a one-time thing or if it's like every time or what the situation is,
Yeah.
but like the fee is like $20. So they text you and they're like, "Are you participating this week?" And you either yes or no. And then if you confirm, then I think it's like Friday morning they text you like the name of a restaurant, like the address to a restaurant. So you show up to the restaurant and they give you like the name of the reservation, and you just check in under the reservation, and then you sit down at a table, and like if you're the first to arrive you're just fucking sitting at an empty table, and then people show up, otherwise like you're seated
Oh
with like
my
a bunch of other
god, this
people.
is making me
So
so nervous.
it's always in groups of 6, and so it's like usually I think it's like one. Well, actually, we've seen 2 at a restaurant at a time. So like we've had 2 groups come in. So there's a table of 6 seated here and a table of 6 seated over here. And they're not like really supposed to like interact with one another, but like they can. There's an opportunity to later. And what they did in the beginning, they haven't been doing this lately. I don't know why, but they would drop off little question cards and a disposable camera before. And so while you're like talking and meeting people, like there's like prompts if you feel uncomfortable or whatever. And obviously the reason for the questionnaire is they try to pair you with people that they think that you would get along with.
Yeah.
And I will say like
Like within the group of 6?
no,
Oh,
within like their network.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the thing that they put on the table.
Oh no, I'm sorry, the questionnaire you fill out online.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we've seen groups come in where it's just like it feels like everyone is a little misaligned.
Yeah.
And then we've seen groups come in where we're like, they're having a fucking blast. But we've also, I don't know if I should leave this in yet or not, but there's also been a time where there was 2 groups and one table was all white people and one table was all black people.
You have to leave that in there.
And I'm like,
Holy shit.
I don't, obviously that could not have been intentional, right? But it's just like, how does that happen? It was very interesting.
Were they like giving each other the eye?
No, the 2 separate tables. No, because everyone's just like in their own little worlds.
Yeah.
And then we've also seen tables where like other people are vibing, and then there's like maybe like one weirdo guy who's like really obnoxious and everyone hates or like whatever.
Yeah, that would be me.
So exactly. So okay, so I was at work last Friday and I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I was like, "Oh, this group coming in is going to be a 222 group." And he was like, "Oh, that's like so weird to me. I don't think I could ever do that." And I was like, "No, I think it would be so fun. Like this sounds like the best time to me."
I thought you were going to like lead into this saying that you signed up for it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, but somehow I got roped into it, but I have never signed up for it. So, He's like, I could never do this. I could never do this. And I was like, that is crazy. Like, I personally think this would be such a great time. So they were sat in his section. So he was waiting on them. And literally, like 20 minutes after everybody sits down, he comes up to me and he was like, these people are so fun. And, like me being obviously a fag hag, there was one of the guys that came in and I sat him. And when he walked in, I was like, hi, how are you? And he was like, I'm good. How are you?
Me.
And I was like, I need to know who this person is
Yeah.
immediately.
Did
Like,
you know when he walked in that he was going to be with them, or you had no idea?
usually you do know because they're
Mm-hmm.
like usually like young and like kind of cute
Mm-hmm.
and like they look a little out of place.
I'm so confused by this. So people pay to go meet random people at at a restaurant
Mm
and talk to
hmm.
them.
Mm hmm.
You couldn't pay me to go do that. That is literally my. Also, like, is this a prepaid thing, or like, how do they split the
No,
bill?
so like anything you order at the table, it's just like split up per person.
I see.
Yeah,
I would show up blacked out.
absolutely.
Okay,
I would
continue with
actually,
the
I would obviously have a couple drinks in me before going. Like you would
duh.
have to. Or
I would be like,
also,
I'm gonna meet the love of my life. I'm gonna meet the love of my life tonight.
and then you're gonna be sat with like a bunch of like fucking fucks from
Losers.
Nebraska. No, but that's another thing too. If you want to, you can bring a friend. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
it's like an added fee or like what the case is, but you are allowed a +1 if you choose to. So that's like a little security blanket if you're like nervous about doing it. But anyway, so I'm like already like I need an opportunity to talk to this like incredible gay that just walked in that has severe vocal fry, like worse than mine. I need to know this person. And so anyway, so my coworker is like waiting on their table and I'm like, he's like, these people are so cool. He's like, actually, this makes me kind of want to do this. Like, this is so cool. Whatever. And he's like, and they're all getting along so well. And they're already like agreeing to like order appetizers together and like split stuff and like whatever. And he was just like in awe of like how well this group was
Yeah.
connecting. And he was like, we should go out with them tonight. And I was like, honestly, we should. And so I was like, trying to like linger in their area. Like I had to like fold up pizza boxes and so I did it like near them and like
Yeah.
whatever. And so, oh, okay. So another part of the thing is like when you're like halfway through or like whatever, I don't know what it is. They must do it like it must be timed, like a half
Mm-hmm.
hour into like when you're supposed to be there, maybe an hour into it or whatever. They text you a secondary location. So if you're having a good time, like there's like a little like club or something that you can go to with everybody, but they send everybody the same location. So there'll be multiple different groups from the same experience that show up there. So you can all mingle at the
Where was
end.
the location?
I don't know, someplace in it was called The Room in
Mm.
Santa Monica. You know it.
I've been there.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm like lingering in their area and my coworker like walks up to them to like check on their table and they all start chit-chatting about like where they're going next and they were like you should come with. And then he was like should Cedar come too? And they were like abso-fucking-lutely.
You were like, yes.
And I was like obviously I was going to be going even if they
Yeah.
invited me.
Yeah.
Or even if they didn't invite me, but anyway, so I was like, "Oh my god, should I come?" Like so slay. So I obviously get cut like before all the servers do because I'm a hostess and like my position isn't that important. And I like clock out. I just pull up a chair. I sat next to them and I like started chit chatting with them. And I'm like, okay, everybody, tell me your names. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on? What's your zodiac sign? Like, let's get into it. What does everybody do for work? Like, anyway, so I made friends with these people and we all ended up going out, like, had a really great time together. And it was like, it was just interesting because everyone was like so different, but also like was vibing so well. And it was like every person you talked to, they were like, oh, I used to live here and then I lived there. And like each person literally kept saying to other people, like, wait, I'm like so confused because you've lived so many places. Like I feel like you've lived 1,000 lives, but that was like literally everybody's story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How old were
Um,
these people?
they're all like in their 20s.
Are they all like new to LA?
No, not exactly. But like it's probably a lot of them would be because
This is
it's
like
like
the
how else are you gonna make friends?
this is like the ultimate like social experiment.
No, it's so good.
Should we do this?
Yeah, I've been like wanting to do it. Like I would love to do it. So anyway, but also like it was so weird to me because there was also like a girl. There was a girl at the table, and it was her birthday, first of all, and I was like, how interesting.
That day, the day
Mm-hmm.
of, and she's
Mm-hmm.
going out with strange. That's so sad.
Hold
Poor
on.
thing.
Hold on.
What?
And she doesn't even live in LA. She drove in from Big Bear. She was so adorable. She was so sweet.
That
But
makes
I
me
was just like,
sad.
girl,
Yeah. Did she like have a hotel room?
no. That was also another crazy thing. I asked her, I was like, where are you going to stay? And she's like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. And I was like, okay, girl. Like, okay. Kind of good for her.
Good for her, but that makes me really sad.
I mean, I feel like she just was out on a mission to have a good night.
That's a big whim. So
No,
good for
yeah. And
her.
also, you have to like have a lot of balls to do something like
Yeah, which
that.
I don't, so I could not do it.
I mean, I wouldn't be driving hours to a location to meet strangers and then not have a place to stay. I just wouldn't be doing that.
I feel like you would.
Maybe.
You're like,
Honestly,
"I've done it
maybe.
before."
Yeah, no, it was a really interesting night. There was another person there and he drove in from Orange County. And he kind of had like a similar mindset. He was like, well, I might drive home later, but like it's literally like only an hour without traffic. So like it's not a big deal.
Okay, so I need to know the makeup of this table. How many girls, how many guys? I need like a quick psychographic of each one.
Yeah. So it was 4 girls, 2 guys. There were one of the girls brought a +1. So it was 2 girls that knew each other. And then I'm missing a girl. So maybe one of the girls didn't show up. So maybe it was 3 girls, 2 guys, because I think one person didn't show up. So one of the girls that brought a +1. So there was 2 girls that knew each other. Then there was one random girl who was the girl that drove in from Big Bear. And then there were 2 guys, and one of them was like the gay that I'm obsessed with. And then the other one was this guy that drove in from Orange County. And like everyone was pretty much on the same page. The girl that drove in from Big Bear was like maybe not vibing with everybody as well. And
Mm-hmm.
same with the guy from Orange County.
Yeah.
But I actually went home before I went and met them at the other place. And when I got to the other place, those two had left with other people and went to the Victorian instead.
Which two? Oh, the
The
Big
two
Bear girl.
people that came in from out of town.
Okay, okay.
So
So
then
it
it
was
was like,
the gay with the two girls.
yes, like the
Okay.
people that lived in LA and they were all like still hanging out and like
Yeah,
having
yeah.
a good time together. So yeah, everyone just like kind of found like their little place and like made their friends and like had a sleigh night. And then I ended up bringing like a handful of them back here and we all like did ketamine until like 5 a.m. and it was stunning. It was so beautiful.
So gorgeous. So
I
those are
know.
your new friends.
Yeah, I'm probably never going to see them again.
222.
And I'm obsessed.
I'm so intrigued by this system.
Okay, and then because I've also seen people on the internet, because I learned about this because of work, but then ever since then, I've seen people on TikTok talking about their experiences. And there was a girl who did it in New York, and I feel like they're just starting to expand in New York, so I feel like that's kind of like a little iffy. But she was saying like they had the best time with the group of people they were with, but the location that they sent to was really questionable. But I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's like standard for a random
Yeah.
restaurant in New York. Like you never really know what you're gonna get. That was like her only problem with it was like the place that they were at, which seemed like she was really bothered by it. But to me, I was like, this sounds like an experience I would have and like not
Like
be mad
she was
about.
really bothered by the
Like,
restaurant for some
yeah,
reason.
she was like, the restaurant was so weird and like there was like the server was like really weird and like started like singing karaoke to them, but it was like all in like she's like, do you guys want to sing karaoke? But it was like in Korean or something, so none of them could. But then like the waitress like started singing karaoke to them, and then she said like the bathrooms like
Okay, her fucking Yelp review of this restaurant. Who cares? Just get drunk.
no, exactly. I'm like, get drunk and
Yeah.
talk to the people you're with.
Yeah,
Like the
go play
restaurant literally is so
karaoke.
irrelevant.
Yeah.
And anyway, she was saying like the bathrooms, it was like 2 toilets in one room and they were like across from each other.
Okay.
And she was saying like the walls were like weird like fucking like paper walls or like bamboo walls or something. So the restaurant sounded really sketchy, but like when she was talking about it, I was like, I don't think I would be bothered by that because I would be like, I'm obviously putting myself in a
Yeah,
position
that's
where
like
I'm
not the
willing to
point.
experience
Yeah.
something weird and like
Yeah.
out there. So like if that's the experience and like embrace it. And I kind of wanted this bitch to just like suck it up, but like she like really enjoyed connecting with like the people she met and whatever and had like a good time
They
otherwise.
probably all
But
hated her.
I'm sure she's probably fucking sucked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, anyway, so I've seen a lot of like reviews about it online And I'm like, I just am so down to try it myself.
I would be really, I would have, I feel like going into that, I would have really high hopes, and then I would be really fucking pissed if everyone was like a dud.
I feel like you just have to put yourself in the position where you're willing to do whatever it takes to make the most out of it. So
Yeah,
even if you have
yeah.
to like throw
Be-
back a couple shots,
become the
look the person
entertainment.
next to you
Yeah.
dead in the eye and say, tell me your time of birth. Like,
Yeah. What is
where
your
the fuck are
deepest,
you
darkest
from?
secret?
Exactly. What's
Yeah.
the worst thing you've ever
Tell me
done?
like
Have
your
you ever
childhood
committed a
trauma.
crime?
Like I need to know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you're not automatically vibing with everybody, you just need to like put yourself so far out there and just get into it.
I would do this with you.
And that's kind of what I did when I like sat down with them, because they all had like spent the past hour and a half getting to know each
Yeah.
other.
You're
And
like,
so
okay,
I
let's
sat
play
down and I
catch
was
up, bitches.
no, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, so fill me in.
Yeah.
What's your government name? Like, what do you do
Yes.
for work? And what's your zodiac sign? Anyway, it was a sleigh.
I love that.
So
I'm
are we signing up for
interested.
222?
No, you will, and I'll be your +1. Do they need to do like a background check on me or some kind of
I have no
psychology
idea.
test?
We'll figure it out. I'll block out a Friday evening. It'll be so fun.
We should do that. Like I'm down. I need.
Wait, we should do it as podcast homework and have an episode about it.
Let's do it.
That would be so fun.
Like I'm intrigued by this whole process.
No, you know what we should do?
What?
We should do it and then make everybody come back to the apartment and record an episode with us.
Okay, let's not count our chickens before they hatch.
No, okay.
But I'm down.
It would be so fun.
I'm scared.
Also,
Huh?
the people that I was with, you would have liked.
I'm sure.
Like,
I like everyone.
wait, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell this, but I'm going to anyway. It's not my story to tell, but it is such a sleigh. One of the guys that we were with, the gay that I was obsessed with, he was telling me that when he was a kid, he was on vacation in Hawaii, and his family was staying at the same hotel that Sofia Vergara was staying at, and she had just gotten engaged, and TMZ issued a statement where they were like, we'll pay anyone $6,000 if they can get us a picture of her engagement ring. And he was like, and I got the shot and I sold it to TMZ. And I was like, I'm sorry, wait, like, I'm going to need to get more details here. So did you just like, were you just like out there with like your shitty little fucking iPhone camera, like extra zooming in like by the pool or
Yeah.
what? And he was like, no. So my dad actually had a professional camera, and
He hijacked
he
it?
was a kid. He was literally like 13 years old. He took his dad's camera, posted up out in front of the hotel, and sat there for literally like 6 hours and waited for her to like return from wherever she was for the day, and literally got like a paparazzi professional level shot
That's
of her
so
fucking
good.
engagement ring and sold it to TMZ and like made his like little summer bag that he
so
could live off
fucking
of
good.
as like a kid. And I was like, that is so iconic.
I absolutely love that.
Oh my God. You would have loved him too. I just like, it was a really sly group of people. You would have really enjoyed them. So
Well,
anyway.
I can't wait to meet them the next time you do ketamine here with them at 5 a.m.
Exactly. And the rest of the weirdos that we're going to meet when we do 222.
I'm like, so do you guys like drugs?
No,
What's your drug
literally.
of choice?
No, that was me when we met at the second location. I literally was asking everybody, so what kind of drugs do you like?
Yeah, what do we have tonight?
But like,
This is a potluck.
surprisingly, like a few of the people were like, yeah, like not really into drugs. And I was like,
Lame. Next.
okay, loser. But anyway, no, it was so fun. So
We're gonna have to do that.
you went to Dubai and I did ketamine on my couch.
I mean, equally entertaining.
And exciting.
I love that.
Stunning.
So that's all we have to report for this week, I guess, right?
Okay. Yeah. What's their homework? They're going to sign up for 222
Yes, and go ride a camel.
and go ride a fucking camel.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, Slay. Love you, girls.
Love you, girls.
Have a
Mwah.
blessed rest of your Tuesday, and we'll see you next week.
Love
Bye.
you.